Okay, so officially welcome everyone to the Virtual League of Extraordinaries in November. I'm Cesar Trabanco from the Global Chamber. Doug Bronke is not going to be with us today. He's typically the one moderating this, but he had a conflict. So I see many of you have already been into this call, but we have some new ones. So I sent the email with the rules of the call, but just to give you a reminder, like everyone has 3 minutes to provide information about the company, what they do, who they're looking to connect with, and how we can help you, and at the end, how you can help the global tribe. I'm gonna be giving. I have the timer here, so whenever it's like 30 seconds left, I'm gonna notify the members, so we can have at least 2 or 3 minutes of questions. So let's start with Bill. How you doing, Bill?
Good morning, everyone. Bill Edwards, Newport Beach, California. What is my ideal client? My company exports U.S. franchises around the world. So ideal client would be a company new to international, a company with some international exposure that wants to expand, and then a company with extensive international exposure that needs help developing the region. So we have a small seafood restaurant brand that's new to international. We have a fitness brand that's got a few countries, and then we work with Chili's, which has 32 countries, and we're focused on Asia and Europe for them. What's their pain? Well, they need to understand the how, why, when, where, and with whom of taking their brand international. They may also have underperforming partners they need to get repaired or replaced, or they may need help prioritizing countries. We have a network around the world covering 43 countries to prioritize brands. How can I help the global tribe? Well, that 43 country network of highly vetted consultants under NDAs that cover cross sectors. I've lived in 7 countries, worked in 52, and am known for my cultural know-how and how to get business done in places. And then I'm the vice chair of the District Export Council here in California. And I have access to immense variety of expertise to help small to medium-sized businesses export. That's it.
Okay, that was pretty quick, Bill.
Did I make it under 3 minutes?
Yeah. I mean,
wow.
I can give you an additional minute if you want.
Had it all written down. So.
Sounds good. Any question to Bill? I will give you, Bill. I know you have. I mean, you mentioned know pretty well a lot of countries, but you have some expertise in China. So, any additional comments you can provide on the current situation and opportunities in China?
I lived in China in the 80s and have been doing business there for 38 years. Have an office in Beijing. That used to be a plus. Now I'm not sure it's a plus anymore. In fact, it's a challenge. Taking U.S. brands, primarily restaurants, into China is an interesting experience these days. The Chinese are all excited about the change in U.S. government. I'm not sure they really understand there's really not going to be a lot of change in the way we view China.
Okay.
More experience than probably I need.
Bill, in my past corporate life, I was the head of international HR for a large retailer, and we franchised in 20 some countries and owned and operated in Europe, China, Hong Kong, Mexico, Canada. So anyhow, retail and restaurants have a lot of crossover. So if you ever need, any retail type just experience or just questions, it's not what I do today, but I'm here to help with any questions or contact scenarios.
Well, we helped take Build-A-Bear Workshop into China, which is very retail. And retail and restaurants have a lot in common in that they need nice space, they need build out, they need customers, and they get shut down during these certain times, right?
They do. Did you work closely with Chris Hurt at Build-A-Bear?
No, I did not. No.
Oh, he's their COO, and he was the head of international for American Eagle. I worked for him there.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Okay. So yeah, so just small world.
Nice to meet you, Jennifer.
Nice to meet you, Bill.
Connect.
Well, Bill, if you have any international trade financing requirements and that, I'd be glad to hook up with you. Probably, maybe you know, don't, but if you do, could certainly weigh in and maybe lend a hand.
Thank you very much, Dwight.
Perfect. And I see some of you are already putting your details in the chat, so make sure you all do that. So Jennifer, why we don't go with you? Jennifer Thornton from 304 Coaching. Jennifer is a new member. I believe you're in Dallas, right?
I am in Dallas. So what we do here at 304 is we work with organizations to help them create talent strategies that are a match to their business strategies. So often companies put a ton of time and effort into the business strategy of the organization, you know, ROIs and how are the products going to arrive, who's going to make it, all that stuff. But oftentimes the business strategies fail because we haven't spent time thinking about the people who actually execute. And so that's where we come in, and we have three main products. And that one is first one is an assessment that we sell. It's a pre-employment assessment that helps us get the right people in the right jobs. Then we do leadership academies and leadership education so that we are developing people that are in the right jobs to do the right things. And then we also provide executive and mid-management or individual and group coaching. From, you know, a philosophy standpoint, you know, for me personally, I'm very passionate about the neuroscience of the mind and how it takes in relationships and conversations and how does that influence the way we react in the business setting, and then obviously impacting our business results. So I talk a lot on the neuroscience of the mind. And one of my favorite topics is the addiction to being right, because you can actually get addicted to being right, which is kind of a fun thing to talk about. We love those dopamine hits. So that's what we do here at 304.
Oh, well, you're all today really on point. That's perfect. Thank you, Jennifer. And who would be the right contact for you in a company?
Yeah, so the right organizations for us are either organizations that are growing quite rapidly and they're struggling to keep the talent above the acceleration of the company. So the company's kind of outgrowing the skills of the team. We want to try to compact and shorten the development cycle so that we can stay ahead of it from a skill set standpoint. And then, you know, large value-based organizations do really well with our academies, coaching. So yeah, so those that really want to invest in their teams and their people and believe in the investment and growth of their teams.
What companies are growing this year? What's your experience this year? How has it been?
Yeah. So it's such a good question. So I have a lot of retailers and restaurants on my books because of my retail background. And my retailers, one of them has done incredibly well and one of them has struggled. Actually, two have done incredibly well, one struggled. The two that have done well are home goods and home organization type stuff. So, you know, their clothing end has struggled a little bit more. My largest restaurant organization, they're a franchisor. They do casual dining. And so they're actually, though their sales don't look as good, their profit has gone up because they've got dining rooms closed, they're doing drive-through. So they're pretty happy, or profit's up. And I have another company that's in non-emergency transportation, and they took a huge hit in the beginning, but they're starting to really grow because they're seeing a lot of their competitors go out of business. So overall, most of my clients have fared, knock on wood, have fared pretty well.
That's good. That's really good to know. Any additional question to Jennifer? No, Jennifer, then how can you help the global tribe?
Oh, that's good. I don't know. I'm still learning. This is only my second event, so I'm kind of learning what's, you know, what is.
That's fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah, but I have signed up. I'm a sucker for volunteering, so I did agree with Nelson to work on the advisory board for Dallas, and then we are looking and starting a women's group for the Dallas metro area. So we'll see where that goes.
Excellent, excellent. Thanks for working with Nelson.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Jennifer. Let's move now to Chicago. Anthony Haynes. Anthony is another new member from AH Global Trade Inc. USA. And Anthony has a very interesting project. He's helping countries like in Africa and Latin America with spare equipment from agriculture. So Anthony,
Good morning.
thanks for joining us.
Yes, at AH Global Trade, it's a new company. Although I've been involved with international trade before, this company is new. And what we do is import, export agricultural equipment and spare parts, and primarily dealing with companies that are countries that need the supplies. And we also partner with another larger company that does agricultural development, where we do the work, go in and develop their farms or plantations on the land that is owned by private investors or the government. And it's a turnkey operation where once the land is developed, we turn it back over to that country or the private developer to continue to work it. We train the people how to use the equipment. We also supply them with the equipment. We sell the equipment to them. Most of it's used because, but it's in good condition for them to use. But if they want new equipment, we can also get them new equipment. And I could go on, but I'm trying to think of what else. Probably if you ask me questions, I could tell you more.
Sure, Anthony, maybe a little bit, because I know I talked to you earlier this week, but if you can tell everyone else about the countries that you're interested in, some particular regions.
Oh, yes. Interested in developing countries such as Cameroon. We're working with Cameroon right now, Ghana, Kenya. We're also interested in the other African countries. Also in South America, have not been there yet. The company that I work with is also in the Middle East, and they're in Southeast Asia, but I'm not really involved in those projects. And they're also in India.
Okay, thank you, Anthony. Any question for Anthony?
Anthony, just contact me later in the chat. I will connect with you, two members of my metro. One is a business developer in Africa, in many countries in agriculture expertise. He's a member, his name is Dotan. And I have two more, so please contact me in the chat.
Cesar, could you get his information to me?
Yeah, I can take care of it. And actually that member, he has some expertise in Brazil as well. So that's a good connection.
And Anthony, I have extensive living and working experience in the African markets, and again, could perhaps lend some help if a trade financing or financing requirement may be required. So I would be interested to connect on that basis. I also have extensive background in the Middle East, having just recently returned from there after several years. So again, my door is open.
Okay, thank you.
Anthony, I'll chime in as well. I've got several ministry partners doing sustainable agricultural projects with very large chicken and mostly chicken farming, all the types, eggs, broilers, but are expanding into agro farming. And so anything associated with equipment could be an advancement for them. I also have a Vistage member who's got a global business that actually drives software into the farming equipment to make them more efficient and more effective in the work that they're doing. So again, I'm happy to share that with you.
Well, I forgot to mention that also another portion of the thing that we do is dealing with dairy farming, actually building dairy farms around the world. And there's a team of veterinarians that are on staff, and we ship livestock from here to U.S. to various countries around the world too.
That's great.
How to have sanitary milk, and if they want the cattle to be raised for meat, we can also do that too.
Perfect. Thanks. And in terms of helping the global tribe, I know as Jennifer is working with the Dallas director, I know you're working with Ernie in Chicago. So thanks, Anthony. We will be moving forward now to the next one, and let's go to Dwight Winkler. Thank you, Dwight.
Yeah, good morning, all. I'm a global executive. I guess I've worked in virtually every continent around the world, and I've just returned from about 25 years abroad, most recently Kuwait, and prior to that, Indonesia and Singapore. My background is largely international trade finance, although I bring also into that mix sales operations and contract management. I've been in the telecom space most of my career, but I'm available on a consultancy basis for enterprises that are seeking to grow their export markets and need risk mitigation techniques, sales financing requirements, and that putting trade financing together. And can also work closely with sales heads to help them manage their sales part of their business, and that account planning, forecasting, pipeline building, funnel growth. So that's pretty much my background. I'm looking for generally small to medium-sized enterprises, although not necessarily. That's the expertise that I can bring to companies out there that are in need of that to help grow their export business largely.
Thanks, Dwight. Who would be the contact in the company for you? The perfect contact.
That's me. I'm on my own.
No. I mean for us to introduce you.
I'm looking at. I can be meeting with principal owners, C-level, in the finance organization, CFO, treasury, sales up, heads, and then I've worked very closely with global sales. International sales people, both regionally and or who have global responsibility.
Okay, I know you mentioned telecom. Any other particular industry of expertise?
Well, I've most recently come from almost 13 years with Kuwait Telecom, helping build that network from the ground up over those years, and that's so I would say the mobile industry, cellular, and of course now. More data-driven than it was earlier.
Okay, perfect. And how can you help the global tribe? I know you're very active in our events, so that's a plus.
I think this is about maybe in my third or fourth of these events that I participated in, and others, But I think the global experience that I have, because as I said earlier, in that I haven't missed too many markets around the world, and that's why I bring that knowledge to any company that's wanting to grow their markets overseas. And I've lost whatever fears there might have been in my earlier part of my career and working internationally. Those don't exist, and I'm not afraid of the amount of money involved either, because I'm pretty used to working in several millions of dollars worth in size projects or requirements.
Interesting.
Excellent. Any question to Dwight?
That's very interesting.
I've shared my details on the chat and that, my LinkedIn and that. I'm welcome to connect with anyone in that, and available for future discussion.
Yes, and Doug already took care of tagging all of you on LinkedIn, so make sure you all connect. Perfect. Let's move to Donna. Hi, Donna. You're in Phoenix, right? Donna Kent?
Yes. Yeah. Thank you. It's great to meet all of you and to see Jennifer again this week. I have been in the Valley now for 25 years, formerly from New York, and I am a leadership development trainer and coach, and now a Vistage chair. So I think it was Bill, you're a Vistage member now for how many years?
15.
15 years. So that's fantastic. Vistage is the world's leader in peer advisory, which is an accelerator of personal growth and business growth. We operate presently with 23,000 members across 23 countries and have a global platform. My interest in that was to get to the C-level because I was predominantly working in construction, architect, and engineering the last 4 years in the middle tier, but really couldn't get the acceleration of the business growth until I was able to capture the C-level. So it's been fantastic doing transformational work. That is an outgrowth of 25 years as a corporate leader, having lived in Europe in 2 stints and a global role. I've worked in corporate, high growth, and startups. So my opportunity with CEOs is to really help them grow and facilitate their growth with that experience, plus the background and the branding, content, and research from Vistage. So the type of leader I'm looking for right now are C-level business owners and founders. I am a bit of a diversity nut. So not only do I like the cultural diversity, which is very important to me, I love really exciting businesses. So right now I'm working with multiple AI, blockchain, and space businesses, and the C-levels that are running those businesses are just fantastic thinkers. And it's just really, it's really exciting to see those industries and how they're growing right now, especially through COVID. So I'm looking for somebody who's got the passion for growth for themselves and their teams. I'm looking for people who are willing to have authentic relationships, because that's really one of the core of getting to transformation. And I'm also looking for people who will have the courage to give and take sometimes very tough, unbiased feedback, and then the willingness to be personally accountable to do something with that feedback. So I'm excited to be part of this. I've known Doug for probably all of the 25 years I've been here in the Valley, and looking forward to learning more about each of you.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Donna. You mentioned AI, blockchain, and what other?
Space.
Space. Okay. Okay, perfect. I think you're probably, I'm going to follow up offline with you, but you probably know a member in Phoenix that we can introduce you. Can check with
I'm
you.
sorry?
You probably know someone that we have in Phoenix, but just in case, I'm going to follow up with you.
Oh, good. Yeah, no, that's exactly what I'd love to do. And I'm happy to be a connector for others. So.
And any question for Donna?
Donna, this is Marty. I worked with a voice AI company. It's based out of Austin back previous to what I'm doing now. Remind me if I don't get but I'd be happy to connect you to them. They might
Oh,
be.
yeah. Yeah, no. And I mean, those aren't the exclusive industries that I'm looking at, but those are, for me personally, I just love learning more about those kinds of technology.
They're up and coming, kind of young. They're young, but they've been at it for a couple of years now.
No. Yeah. So typically, you know, in the CE groups, we start at 5 million, but that's not a deal breaker for me, because they typically get to those levels much quicker. Vistage has been tracked and measured over the last 63 years, and we grow business 2.5 times faster as a function of the peer advisory. So I'm sure Bill could speak more to that with his experience, but it really is a fascinating way to put like-minded but unbiased opportunities on the table. Thank you, Marty.
Donna, this is Carmen, also from Phoenix, and I recently I recently met a couple of folks in the space, and they're kind of startups, but I'd love to introduce you to those folks in that space AI realm, and I have a good friend who owns a blockchain business, so would love to meet you and connect, and also do you interact with the Arizona Technology Council?
I used to be the president and the CEO of the Tech Council.
Oh,
Yeah, so I know those folks pretty well, thanks.
okay.
Excellent. Thank you. Anna. Let's move now to Mari Williams. Hi, Mari. I think you're muted, Mari.
Yeah, there we go. Sorry, I was starting my email to Donna, so I didn't forget to send
Thank
her
you.
that.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, so Marty Weems. I'm CEO of Western Rare Earths. We're a mining development company focused on critical minerals and rare earth mining. So I always have to tell folks there's no hole in the ground. We're a development company, so we take projects where a particular mineral has been located, prove those out, work out the permits, and get them to be shovel ready. And then at that point, we consider whether we want to actually open and operate a mine through a third party, or we sell that asset off to an actual operator. So we're currently developing a project here in Arizona and one in Wyoming, and actively shopping for other projects in North America. We're backed by a publicly traded company in Australia, and that's been our initial seed capital. I'm actually quite busy right now working on a capital raise here in the U.S. So, a big thing I'm looking for folks that could help me with my capital raise here in the States on these particular projects we're focused on. But specifically to ideal clients that we look to line up are specialty metals refining companies that focus on critical mineral specialty minerals refining. There aren't much of those in North America, so it's a pretty short group, but there's a few in the internationally, primarily in mainland China, but we're specifically trying to not deal with mainland China to keep our supply chain security in line with what the U.S. Defense Department wants on these critical mineral supply chains. The pain and the solution is, we provide a secure, environmentally friendly supply chain opportunity for rare earth, scandium, hafnium, other critical minerals. And then how can I help the global tribe? I actually have a decade plus global business development and business stand-up experience in about 24 countries around the world, of helping U.S. companies that I've worked for figure out 0 to 1 in new markets globally. Certainly not the experience that Bill and Dwight have and Donna of living in other places, but have landed in unknown places and figured out what can we do, how do we do it, and who with whom should we partner in the process in any given market, including Kuwait, Dwight. So spend a few minutes there. So that's it. Western Rare Earths, we're a mining development company.
Excellent. Thank you, Maury. Any question to Maury?
And do you partner with, who is it here? McMoran?
Freeport McMoran.
Mm-hmm.
No, but I've had fun poaching some of the people they let go recently.
Really?
Yeah. Process engineer ran projects in this space, was with them for a while, and they eliminated the program that was focused in this area. So that was a nice talent lift for me. And then also one of my most recent board of director members that I've added was a 10-year vice president at Freeport McMoran.
Nice.
For international global government relations. So we have a friendly relationship with a few folks there, but we don't necessarily partner with them directly.
I see. And are you here in Arizona, or?
Yeah, I live in Phoenix, and our right now our flagship project is here in Arizona, in western Arizona, La Paz County.
Oh, okay, great.
Yep.
Terrific.
Excellent. Any other question? I think it is interesting that today's call has been very, very Phoenix centric. Many members from Phoenix, and Dwight just mentioned that he's also in Phoenix. But that's funny that I think you you haven't known each other before. So you're meeting new members in Phoenix. That's interesting.
Yes, wonderful.
It's interesting though. Let's move to Carmen. Hi, Carmen. From
Hi. Yeah, also in Phoenix. And
Molera
I'm
Alvarez, right?
what?
From Molera Alvarez.
Yeah, Molera Alvarez, a public affairs firm, and I'm actually a born and raised native of Phoenix, which is uncommon. It's a lot of transplants, people coming from all over to Phoenix, especially now. We're getting more of the folks who are, unfortunately due to COVID, looking to get out of the larger cities. So, we're having some in-migration from other areas, but we are a firm. We do government affairs, so helping folks navigate the halls of government, mostly in Arizona. And getting, access to government contracts, dealing fair competition so that, regulations are not adversely, harming your business. So our partners, Jaime Molera and Ruben Alvarez, they have illustrious careers in state government, and they also have a lot of experience in trade promotion and diplomacy with Mexico. So we focus a lot on our government affairs in Arizona, but also we were the trade representatives for City of Phoenix and City of Wichita in Mexico, promoting exports and investment, and so also help companies reach the Mexico market with all our great connections there. So our ideal client is a large company. We have clients like JP Morgan, CVS, Aetna, AECOM. So large clients that really want to have those connections in the Arizona market and be on top of and ahead of what's going on in public policy and government. And what was the problems we help solve is really access to those government folks. And in Mexico it's kind of similar because in this group knows very well, but in other countries the connection and the kind of need to be connected with government to really further business dealings is even stronger in other countries, and Mexico being one of them. So that's how we've been able to help. And it is, like you said, Cesar, it's a very strong Arizona group here, but anything we can do for the global tribe to help promote Arizona to the rest of the world and be a resource in Arizona for people who want to be connected to the various business groups. Our partners are in a lot, board members and a lot of the major associations and chambers here in Arizona. So and me personally, being from Arizona, and I caught the international bug when I lived in, I did a gap year experience in Santiago, Chile, and that really made me fall in love with international community and international relations. So I want to help bring more international experiences to Arizona and bring Arizona to the world.
Thank you, Carmen. Just on time. Any question to Carmen? Carmen, I guess that in terms of helping the global tribe, you can definitely talk to Doug and see, because part of the, I know the local chapters, Doug is involved in a lot of activities and bringing companies to Arizona. So that's definitely a line that you can help him with.
Perfect.
Perfect. Thank you, Carmen. And so let's move now to Jeff Dar from Dar and Newman. Jeff, I believe you're in Los Angeles, right?
I'm in Los Angeles.
Perfect, Jeff. Thanks for joining us today. I know it's not your first time, so go ahead and introduce.
Sure. Yeah, and hello, everybody. So my name is Jeff Dar, law firm Dar Newman. I'm primarily do international law, meaning I work with small, medium, sometimes large entrepreneurs in cross-border business and disputes. So I do a lot of international arbitration. I do a lot of representation of foreign companies coming to the US and vice versa. I work closely with people in probably 35, 40 countries on a regular basis. Just to give you a little idea of things I've been doing this month, I'm a founder of a group called the China Collaborative Group, which is, I'm the US member. We facilitate inbound, outbound business to China. It's just one of my practices. But earlier this month, there was the China International Import Expo, where unlike in the US, they actually had an in-person huge giant expo. We had a big booth. My firm was featured in it. My face was on the booth. Of course, I couldn't go. But virtually, I was able to be there. But we had people there. And then Tal, I hosted 4 days ago the Consul General of Israel, Hillel Newman, in an international trade group I chair in Los Angeles, which Doug actually joined virtually. So that was sort of fun. And so I act as a outside general counsel for many businesses, particularly those not always doing international, but the majority of my practice has a cross-border aspect. And so that's what I can help people do and how to navigate safely and make things actually work. And so I specialize in all those issues of the added dimension of international issues to business transactions and disputes. And that's pretty much what I do. And what I bring to the global tribe, so to speak, is 20 plus years of active relationships with people everywhere, particularly lawyers, but I have clients everywhere. So, I'm representing this week a small matter, but a Singapore government agency. I have clients in Indonesia I'm working with today. And just before this call, I was on a labor specialist group where mostly people in Europe and their colleagues, and we all, I don't hold myself out as a labor lawyer, but all my clients as an outside general counsel, typically it's a lot of labor. And a lot of it is cross-border aspects of labor. And so another way that I have, able to work, because I was, getting, tips from people just a moment ago before this call from Switzerland, Germany, and Spain. And it's very helpful.
Excellent, Jeff. Are you connected to Bill already?
No.
Not so far.
No,
We're
I know other
now.
people on the expert council, but we have not connected before.
We will now. Thanks.
You're now. Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
happy to. I've been a city commissioner in Los Angeles for about 16 plus years, probably too. So since we have government affairs people, so I do a lot of government work as a so-called volunteer, but on a high level. So.
Okay, perfect. Any question to Jeff?
I'm going to connect with the 3 law firms in Israel. They are doing a lot of collaboration with law firms across. So they're building like international desks so they can collaborate with you, and very good friends of mine. Also, 2 of them are global chamber members in Israeli Metro. So I'll already wrote down your details, and I'm sure that Cesar will make the connection.
And like everyone here, I'm happy to connect separately with everyone where we get a little more chance to one-on-one, explore it in other Zoom callers or whatever means of communication. I'm sure everyone feels the same.
Excellent. And so let's move to Tal. So thank you, Jeff. I think Tal, let's move a little bit international now. Tal Silver,
Okay.
Executive Director in Israel. And I invite you all to connect with him because he's doing amazing things. Tal is running a weekly meetup, and he's inviting like his members from Israel, but foreign members to connect with them. So really interesting. But he's also running a e-car business, and he's very involved with technology and applications. So Tal, feel free to go ahead.
Hi, everyone, and good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm Tal Zilberberg. I'm the co-owner and CEO of Green Book USA. We're a software company that specialized in innovative products for businesses, entrepreneurs, corporations, companies. The thing that what we're doing is creating digital products to enhance all the digital platform and media to make everything easier with a better user experience and rapid fire, very, very fast. Everything is fast. And we have a flagship product named eCard. We also have a trademark on this name, even though it's a generic name, eCard.link. It was a hell of a story, but this is for another time, for the one-on-ones. And what we actually is now, we're expanding all over the world. We have in Israel more than 45,000 businesses, entities, municipalities. Everybody's using our product. We have more than 50 products, but for the international market, we only make 4 products for the beginning, to not overwhelm people with the technology. Cesar, if I can, maybe I'll show in a screen share for a second. So this is an e-card, and it's contain everything, all the social media platforms, about us, the website. You can share it easily. You have a QR code that you can scan and immediately collaborate and make networking. And instead of sending so many links that we have, like LinkedIn, Facebook, website, we can pinpoint everybody, and it's customized. You can create it in less than 1 minute or 5 minutes in the beginning, and you can all the time update it and change it. And it's very flexible, so you can actually update it for hotel guest card. So people that come to hotels can actually see all the necessary information. Companies that wants to share who they're working with, or the logos, the services in very fast way. And also it sometimes can replace a website for sometimes we're having special projects that we're doing, but we don't want to invest in websites. So it can easily can be like a 1-page, as I'm showing in the screen, 1-page website. So this is what we do. We also have our weekly meetups, as you see. And as an executive director in the Israeli Metro, I'm inviting all of you to come, to participate, to present and collaborate. We're doing some formats that I call them 3-on-4, 3 local companies, 4 international companies that present. And every time after the meeting, of course, we're having summary with everything, all the Zoom meetings, all the companies that presented, and everybody is here. For example, if I want to go, and we pass it through WhatsApp, through the website, through emails. So you have a lot of exposure in our meetings. How can I help to the global tribe? Just tell me what you need and I will get it for you. Even though yeah, sometimes if I have 1 minute, I'll tell you a thing. We have a friend from the Global Chamber, Furley, and he's a lawyer, and he asked me to get to the pharmaceutical company for the one that developed the Corona kit for tests. And I didn't know him, but after 2 days, I had his number and we're in touch with him. One of the 3 companies that came to the end line with the Corona kits that you blow, and you can immediately, in less than 2 minutes, have a positive or negative result. So this kind of connections that I can help you with. And how can you help me? If you know any companies, businesses, networking, even universities that wants to change the way of communication, make it easier, we all, please refer them to me. We're also making affiliation with the Global Chamber. Global Chamber members have a special offer with the e-cards, 70% off until the end of this year. And also we can do one more thing that I forgot to show you, that we can actually do curriculum vitae e-cards to students. So if you know student boards, this one, Ethan is from the Thunderbird University, and we're going to implement this to all students. Instead of just sending their resume, they will have here all the projects that they are doing, some referrals, and it will be easier for them to share. I think that's it. I finished
That's
my
awesome. So there's a gentleman that I think he may still be here in town. He may have just moved to California. His name is Jamie Kasip. And you could look him up on LinkedIn, but he is the global head of getting Google products into all education. And he is very interested in partnerships and new ways to link with people who have innovation that really get to students. So if you look at him and think that that's of help, I also have the president of the Arizona Christian University. So if any of that is of importance to you, let's chat, and I'm happy to introduce you
Yeah,
to
thank you very
people in
much.
the university sector.
I'll be very happy. Thanks.
With my daughter attending Thunderbird, I'll bear that in mind with that, what you're doing with the Thunderbird School of Global Management.
Thanks. Sure. You can text me and I will email you and try to collaborate. Maybe do a Zoom meeting.
Perfect. Thank you, Tal.
Yeah, and I thought I saw on one of your e-cards, Canacintra. Was that,
Yes.
so you work with Mexico?
Yeah, we're working with Mexico. Actually, we have the e-cards in several languages, and we all the time translating when a new market evolving. So we translate to the native language. So we're working with Canacintra, and actually Oscar is just the vice president, just texting me. So yes.
That's awesome. Yeah, they're the major, business chamber in throughout all of Mexico. So congratulations for that. And also, I'm not sure if you have connected with the state of Arizona has a trade office in Israel, and there's also the Arizona-Israel Technology Alliance. So definitely a lot of interest from Arizona, and especially attracting the technology talent that is coming out of Israel. So I'm not sure if you're already connected to those groups, but I'm happy to connect you.
Yeah, I'll be more than happy. Thanks. Thank you very much.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you, Tom. So now
Thanks,
let's
Cesar.
go back to Arizona with Melissa Blatt from IndiePop. Melissa, are you there?
Yes, I am. I was going to be quiet today and be listening. So, but yes, I am with affordable healthcare for the self-employed. So basically the independent population. My company is called IndiePop. Independent contractors, solopreneurs, and freelancers that have a really hard time getting the healthcare that they need on their own, not through their company. So I have curated health share plans, and I have 2 that I offer, and we're going to be adding more services in the near future. But health shares differ than traditional insurance. There's no premiums or deductibles. And I have a plan that has a $3,000 max out of pocket for a family, which is quite different than what traditional insurance offers. So not to go too much into the weeds with health shares, but if there's any questions on that, please feel free to reach out. If you know anyone that is in this community that are entrepreneurs on their own and struggling to find healthcare, or people that are tied to their job that would love to leave their job and go out on their own, but this is a pain point. They're like, how can I afford healthcare? I can help them. Indiepop.co. INDI, I'll put it in the chat. INDIPOP.
Excellent, Melissa. Thank you. I'm sharing, Melissa was part of our virtual League of Opportunities last week, and I'm sharing that link with you right now in the chat. So I invite you to watch that event. You can watch her presenting, but also other members. And I think, Marty, I think this is an event that I want to invite you. So I'm going to follow up offline on that. But it's an event that we have 5-6 members presenting on opportunities, and some of them, if they're looking for capital raise and all that. So it's interesting. And Melissa, how can you help the Global Tribe?
I'm a huge networker. So I, not so much internationally as when I worked in localization over 2 years ago, I have a very strong global network from that area, but now it's mostly been in the US because I'm dealing with obviously United States healthcare system. But my network, I mean, is vast. So it just has to, when I hear something and I hear of a connection, I reach out right away and I make it. So I've been listening. So yes, I am.
Excellent. Perfect. Any question to Melissa?
No, not at all. Thank you. This was my first time, by the way, just appearing on a Friday. So I apologize that, because last week I presented and I thought these were weekly where there were presentations like that. So forgive me.
No worries.
Yeah.
I mean, you're a new one as well, so.
I'm very new. I get a pass. So.
Exactly. Okay. Anyone has a question for Melissa? Okay. So I think we have another member in Arizona, but who's originally from Puerto Rico, Arnaldo Soto. Arnaldo, are you in the line?
Yes, I'm here.
Hey, Arnaldo. So welcome. Thanks for joining us. And if you can give us a 3 minutes of what you're doing and what you're looking to do with the Global Chamber and connections, feel free to go now.
Yeah, I come from the insurance industry. I've always specialized in bonding, surety bond, performance and payment bonds. 2.5 years ago, I started an aerospace and defense company, AQSC Space Systems, and primarily engaged in telecom satellite manufacturing. And I'm back. After a disagreement with the board, I'm back to starting a surety bonding business to help startups, small emerging and minority businesses, high growth companies obtain bonding in the U.S., especially companies coming from the outside, multinational companies, Mexican companies, Korean companies, whatever company is coming into the U.S. and needs bonding to be able to do business with state, local, and federal governments. We're glad to help. That's what we do. And I recently joined the chamber again. We were members under my aerospace and defense company, and now under insurance. So last week I sat and listened, and I'm here doing the same. I think thank you, Cesar, for inviting me, so I can start hopefully helping the global chamber.
Excellent. First, Arnaldo, who's a good connection for you in a company? Are there any? I know you can work with any industry, with any specification. I remember you mentioned about construction and real estate and all that.
Yeah, normally we deal with the CFOs and the owners, and because they are the ones that have contracts that they have to get someone to guarantee, whether it's Zurich, CNA, Travelers, One Beacon, Berkshire Hathaway. I mean, it's we just help put it together so that whatever it is that they need to perform, on a worldwide basis, we're there for them.
Excellent. Thanks. Anyone has a question for Arnaldo? Perfect. Thanks a lot, Arnaldo.
Thank you.
I guess I think we got through everyone. So, I mean, we have 5 minutes. If any of you have any additional comments or questions, or would like to I don't know, have an event or invite the members to an event or something, so go ahead.
I want to let Tal know that I'm planning to be in Israel in February of next year, but the schedule's going to be pretty tight. But if there's any way I could catch up with you, that would be nice.
Yeah, sure. Reach out. Also, if you are coming to Israel, I can make my schedule and make you a personal meeting with a lot of contacts. So I do it all the time when people are coming. I'm clearing my schedule and meet them face to face with all my key contacts. So feel free.
Okay. I'll let you know if it's able to work out, because it's with a group of other people, so I don't know yet.
Okay. And if somebody wants to present in the following meetups that we're doing, we have some spots in the 3rd of December, and next week we have another place for international company to present. So please feel free to contact me, and I can save you the spot for the international companies that present. It's 5 minutes presentation with a PowerPoint, and it's a good exposure. So feel free to connect with me and to register, and I'll be more than happy to count you in.
Excellent. And I'm gonna be sending a follow-up email, and I'm gonna put some links there of upcoming events. I invite you all to join us. We have the virtual League of Opportunities I mentioned. We have the League of Extraordinaries that we're having today, and we also have the Women Network in the Global Dining. There's a lot of opportunities to network virtually and connect with members from other regions. Carmen, you were asking Tal about kind of scene stuff, so that's coming from our chapter in Hermosillo. So I'm gonna connect you to our guy there, because there's quite a lot of activity in the chapter. So I guess there's a lot of interest for you. And yeah, I mean, you have the connections on LinkedIn. I'm gonna be following with an email, and most of you know already, but if you don't need any specific connection, if you are or request, you can always count on me and send an email to cesar@globalchamber.org. So thanks everyone for joining us today. Looking forward to keeping the good work with you, and have a good rest of the day and an amazing weekend.
Thanks, Cesar, for everything.
Bye. Thanks,
Bye.
everyone.
Bye,
Thank you,
everyone.
Cesar.
Bye.
Have a nice weekend.
You too. Take care.
So